Let me hit you with the harsh truth. People don't quit jobs. They quit bad managers, they quit toxic cultures, and they quit chaos disguised as opportunity. And here's the part that nobody wants to admit. When your best people keep walking out the door, it's not because no one wants to work anymore. It's not Gen Z's fault. It's not the economy. It's not even your competitor offering a few bucks more. It's you, or more specifically, the system that you have place that your people are walking into. Because let's be honest, most companies are great at hiring people, but terrible at keeping them. They talk about building culture, but they can't even build a first week experience that makes people feel like they belong. They promise career growth, then hand new hires a laptop and hope. They talk about values, but on day one, those values are nowhere to be found in your culture. So, what happens? Your new hires show up excited, ready to make an impact, and within a few weeks, they're wondering if they made a mistake. They feel lost, unsupported, even disconnected. And that initial spark, it burns out really fast. Meanwhile, you're scratching your head and you're thinking to yourself, why do I keep losing good people? Here's why. You don't lose them, you push them out the door by giving them a messy, confusing, and non existent system to succeed in. That's not a people problem, that's a process problem. And it's one that you can fix if you're willing to look in the mirror and start on how you onboard people, how you engage them, and how you empower them from day one. And here's how it usually plays out. You hire someone that's really sharp, smart, driven. They nailed the interview. They start, and you can already see they're becoming a rock star. You're excited. They're excited. Everyone is smiling. Handshakes all around. You found the one. And for the first few weeks, it's great. That honeymoon phase with leadership kicks in. They're meeting everyone, soaking up the culture, saying things like, wow, this company really cares about people. You're putting yourself on the back thinking, finally, we found someone who gets it. Then reality sets in. Week one turns into week four. And suddenly that welcome aboard email and the 45-minute orientation are ancient history. They've got a desk, a laptop, a pile of tasks, but no real direction. Their questions start getting bounced around from one person to another like a hot potato. They'll figure things out through trial, error, and late night Googling. But they're ambitious, so they stick with it. They don't complain, not yet. They're still in that prove myself mode. Fast forward 6 months then. They've been doing 2 jobs worth of the work with half the clarity that they need. The excitement is fading and little cracks start showing. Communication is spotty. Feedback is vague. Recognition, non existent. They start to realize that the supportive culture that they heard about in the interview might have been more PowerPoint than in practice. Then around the 1 year mark, the shift happens. They start pulling back. They stop volunteering ideas. They stop chasing improvement. They mentally clocked out. And before you know it, poof, they're gone. Another regrettable loss, another exit interview full of half truths. Meanwhile, your team is left scrambling. They're covering the gaps, frustrated, burned out, and wondering who's next. And the worst part, this cycle keeps repeating because the real issue, how people are set up to succeed or not from day one, never ever gets fixed. I've seen this played out many times in my corporate career. It's really painful to watch. One company I trained for had turnover so bad that they were practically running an employee drive-through. People would come in, get a paycheck, and disappear before the first performance review. I remember when I first started noticing this pattern. Great people were coming into the company excited only to burn out and leave within the first year. And as the onboarding trainer, it drove me absolutely nuts. I could see exactly where things were breaking down. Unclear expectations, zero structure, toxic managers who didn't train their people when they got onto the floor. So I brought it up to leadership. I said, look, we keep losing solid people. This seems to be an issue, and we are losing good people. The answer I got, oh, it's just the industry. People come and go in our business. I wish they were kidding. And that's when it hit me. The problem wasn't the employees, it wasn't the generation gap or the workload. It was the mindset at the top. They had accepted high turnover as a normal part of doing business. They built a revolving door, they slapped a welcome sign on it, and they called it culture. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying hard to build a structured onboarding experience that actually set people up for success. But it's hard to fix a system when leadership doesn't believe that it's broken. Spoiler alert, they didn't succeed. That's actually one of the reasons that I built Onboarding Essentials, because the root of most turnover problems isn't motivation, it's not even money, it's confusion and neglect. Stick around and I'll show you a simple way to fix your onboarding and your culture at the end of this video. So why does this keep happening? It's not because leaders don't care. Most of them genuinely do. The problem is that companies often confuse orientation with onboarding, and that confusion creates a silent killer for retention. Orientation is simple. It's checking box, it's doing paperwork, getting passwords, going through benefits, and the quick, here's the coffee machine tour. It's administrative, it's not transformational. Employees leave orientation knowing what to do, but not how they are supposed to succeed when they get into their positions. They don't know who to ask for help or why their work even matters. Onboarding, on the other hand, is a structured process that transforms a new hire from a warm body into a competent, productive, and engaged team member. It's where employees will learn things like clear expectations for their roles and how that is measured, how their work connects to the bigger picture and the company goals, the culture norms, values, and behaviors that actually drives results, who to go to when they need guidance or support. When onboarding is missed, half-baked, or left to chance, employees are forced to navigate the unknown. They're trying to play a game where everybody else already knows, but without a rule book. That confusion is stressful, demoralizing, and exhausting. And here's the critical part. When people feel disconnected, unprepared, or under-supported, they don't just disengage mentally. They start exploring options elsewhere. They check out quietly, they lose motivation, and eventually they check out physically, taking their skills, energy, and institutional knowledge with them to other places. At the root of it, turnover like this isn't about lazy employees or having bad luck. It's a systematic failure. The company hasn't invented a process that sets people up to succeed. And until that process exists, clear, structured, and repeatable onboarding, this cycle will keep repeating in your company. So how do you fix this if this is happening at your company? The first thing I want to throw out there is this has got to start at the top of the food chain. It cannot start in the middle. It cannot start at the bottom. The top executives of the company have to be on board for you to make it successful. Here's how you start fixing this without throwing money at another engagement initiative nobody believes in. Number one, you've got to create a clear 30, 60, and 90-day plan for every single new hire that comes through your door. People perform better when they know what success looks like. Assign a mentor. This is something that's really important. Someone who is not their boss, but knows the ropes. It's the fastest way that you can help build belonging with your new employees that come into your organization. The third thing is build feedback loops early. Always ask what's confusing, what's working, what's not working. Don't wait until their exit interview to find out. The fourth thing is you've got to train your managers to actually onboard. If your leaders can't teach, they can't retain. It's as simple as that. And here's the kicker. All of this starts with one foundational system, onboarding done right. When you nail it, everything else, engagement, performance, and retention becomes 10 times easier. That's exactly why I built Onboarding Essentials, a 4 PDF program designed to help you create an onboarding system that actually works and helps you retain your employees. It gives you the structure, templates, and guidance to create clarity from day one. It helps you build accountability into each role. It will increase retention and engagement, and it will help you align compensation with performance goals. In short, it's your blueprint to stop the revolving door of turnover and finally build a culture that people want to stay in. Click the link below to grab a copy of Onboarding Essentials and start fixing the root of your people problems, not just treating the symptoms. And in the next video, I'm diving into something even bigger. Your onboarding process is broken. Fix it before it's too late, because chances are you're probably already making one of the biggest onboarding mistakes that silently destroys retention from day one. You'll want to catch that one. Before you go, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest onboarding fail that you've ever seen in your career? Drop it in the comments. Bonus points if you make me laugh or cry. And hey, if you found this helpful, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to this channel. And make sure you share this video if you know anyone that could use advice and tips like the ones you got today. Just remember, if you ignore this problem, your best people are going to walk out the door.